You were brought into the WWF then in 1987 to team with Nikolai Volkoff as the Bolsheviks.
Right.
I guess, was that to replace the Iron Sheik?
Yes. Yeah. Because of that unfortunate incident, but they needed a partner for Nikolai. I wanted to bring in another Russian tag team, and I got the opportunity to go, and so I took the ball and ran with it, and went right to the WWF.
Was it Pat Patterson that would have contacted you to come in, or who was the one that gave you the call?
Well, I'd gotten the word from Jack Lanza, who's one of the agents who lived in Minnesota. I'd worked with in the AWA. He'd put in a good word for me, and Sherry Martel, and again Sergeant Slaughter too. But yeah, I'd gotten a call from Pat Patterson in the office about the starting date and the time to come in and all that. That was all done properly through Pat Patterson.
As far as working with Nikolai, of course, he never partied, and he was very good with his money. How did you get along with him outside the ring?
Oh, great. I mean, Nikolai was so sweet. I mean, and we'd get near Baltimore, he'd invite me over to stay at his place. We'd work out at his house, have me in for meals and stuff. There was even several times, man, it'd be time for me to, I'd be going home. He'd take me to the airport the next morning, get me on the plane, get me home. And times he'd pick me up, or I'd pick him up in different places. And we had a great relationship. I loved him dearly. I'd known him my whole career, because I met him in Florida in 1980 when Atlanta sent me down there to do some TVs and shows in Florida. That's when I first met Nikolai. And man, he was one of the sweetest guys I ever knew in the business. I loved him dearly. And it was devastating when he passed away.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I had done a short interview with him just before he passed. And at that time, he was telling me he was worried about the Iron Sheik. And then what no one would have ever expected is he actually passed away before Iron Sheik.
Right. Yeah, and he was always in such great shape. He watched what he ate, and worked out religiously every day. So yeah, that was devastating. Yeah, that caught me completely off guard.
I guess you worked out with Nikolai on the road too, probably.
Oh yeah. We'd have with gyms we'd go to and work out and all that, because Nikolai knew all the places to go. So he'd done it for a long time, knew that territory well, and so yeah, we had some great workouts together for sure. Yeah, he was, and he had a great gym at his house. We had some great workouts at his house too, in his gym there in Maryland.
What's something about Nikolai that people would be surprised to know?
Oh, just what an easygoing guy was. I mean, there's nothing like he was on TV and stuff, and jokes, and man, could he sing? Good grief, could he sing? He had an opera type voice and stuff. And he'd come in the dressing room and sing and stuff, and he could do card tricks. Man, like you wouldn't believe and stuff. It'd just blow your mind. I mean, Arn Anderson freaked out one time that he showed Nikolai the cross and ran from the dressing room. So because Nikolai freaked him out with his card tricks. So yeah, that was he was something out, and what a great personality. He was super.
How was working with the British Bulldogs?
Oh yeah, that was fun too. I loved Tom and Davey Boy and stuff. I mean, they were a great tag team. They strong as man. They were strong as Bulldogs. I mean, just Davey Boy was just incredible and stuff, and set me up to do that big gorilla slam and stuff, and then Dynamite come off the flying headbutt and stuff and everything, and they were just so much fun to work with. And then of course you had to worry about Matilda too, because I was always having to run from her and stuff. If you didn't get away from her, man, she'd shoot on you, she'd bite you, so you'd better get your butt out of that ring.
The 495 Marauder brings up that WWE was seemingly very loyal to Nikolai. They used him throughout his whole career, and even in later years, they'd bring him back here and there. Is that just because he was so loyal to them and they paid him back?
Yeah, man, but he had so much respect to all the people, all the fans up there and stuff. I mean, they loved Nick. They might have booed him and stuff, but they loved him and had a lot of respect for him. But yeah, he always treated the office well and got it in return. I'm so thankful that they did treat him like that, because he definitely deserved it and he earned it.
Someone's asking your favorite and least favorite team to work with when you were with the Bolsheviks in WWE.
Well, I'm trying to think, because they say so many great tag teams up there and stuff, like I said, Davey and Dynamite and Raymond and Jacques Rougeau, the Killer Bees. I mean, I loved working with all of them. I mean, it was they were all different in different things and stuff, but it was a great tag team, great tag teams that they had up there, and I enjoyed working with all of them. To be honest with you, I really did.
Matt R wants to know, when you guys were doing the house show loops in WWE, were you mostly in the A towns or B towns? And what was the schedule like in those days? It was crazy from what I understand.
Yeah, it was crazy at times. It's usually a mixture of both and stuff. You know, of course, the A towns would be, you know, if Hulk was on the card, that was definitely the A town and everything. But at the time, you know, a lot of the towns, most of the towns were really doing really good and stuff. You know, so get some good paychecks. But yeah, it was a crazy schedule. Different things. Sometimes it would change, and you'd have to be prepared for that change too, because you never knew when it would come.
You don't have to say the amount, but what would have been your best WWE payoff that you ever had? Would you remember the match?
Yeah, one of the best ones was the last WrestleMania I wrestled in, where we went in the ring hardly 30 seconds with the Hart Foundation. That was my best payoff.
In Toronto, I think that was, yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was there that night.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you had other matches with the Hart Foundation too that were longer. Any thoughts on working with them? Brett, of course, went on to have a great career.
Yeah. Brett and Jim was another super tag team and stuff, you know, and they had that killer finish and everything. Jim, good grief, man. Man, he was you grab on to him and stuff, man, he'd jerk you off your feet in a heartbeat and stuff. And Brett was in great shape, and so I thoroughly enjoyed working with them, because they were over, and the fans really loved the Hart Foundation.
As far as the breakup that they had with you and Nikolai, what were your thoughts when they proposed that idea to you?
Well, I figured pretty soon when they proposed that idea, that was along the times that the wall came down, you know, the thing between Reagan and Gorbachev and all that, and USSR was crumbling and coming to an end. So I figured Nikolai and I was going to be coming to an end, and probably not long after that, I'd be on my way out.
They did the breakup and the match on just a Superstars. Were you disappointed that they didn't do the match on like a pay-per-view?
Yeah. I think it'd been great if we could have done it on a pay-per-view and stuff, you know, with Nikolai, and even too, if I could have picked another partner and him and Hacksaw Duggan, because Hacksaw, you know, had the flag and the USA and all that. I think they'd have been a great tag team, and I think they'd have been great tag team champions. I think it'd been great if they'd put the belts on Nikolai and Jim Duggan.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.